Coach Q had his own type of accent. Very unique.
Yeah, very, very unique.
You never really hear guys saying how much they enjoyed the first day of spring. And although it was hot, it seems like all the guys are saying the same thing, how much fun you guys had, how much you guys enjoyed being back out here on the football field.
Yeah, I had a great time today. Obviously, getting acclimated to the difference between last year's practices and this year's practices of the new coaches and how they run things and what they expect from us. But, we spent most of last week learning what they expect from us, and actually most of since we got here. With the mat drills, and you guys saw that, and with the running on Monday mornings, we come to learn what they expect out of us, and that's what set us up to have fun today. Sometimes a coach comes in, you don't really know what to expect, you don't know what they're going to do, and they were very upfront with us. They told us right away, hey, this is what we want, this is what we expect from you guys. You have spring break the week before we start, you better study your playbook because you better know it when you get back. And everyone did their job, and that's what made this really fun. It's just coming out here. Yeah, it's hot, but we're Miami. That's what we do. We play in hot. That's us.
That said, though, did it feel like a little bit more like fall camp than spring practice today?
I mean, not really. I mean, it was a little bit humid this morning when I woke up, but it was still 67 degrees outside.
We will get 67 in August.
No, not at all.
So, last season, the season before, you all do the same kind of drills. You're out here busting your butt just like always. Why is it more fun? Why do I hear the word fun 50 times today versus last season?
Just the new kind of energy that we have. There's a lot of us that, the very first day, I can tell you, the very first day that we were here, the very first workout, a lot of people didn't make it. It was very hard, it was very tough, and it was a struggle for a lot of people because this is a new coaching staff and they're doing things their way and we were used to the old way. But one thing about this team that I love so much is we fought really hard within that first week to get acclimated. Everyone jumped on board. No one argued. No one, discussed different things. No one said, "Oh, screw this. I'm getting out of here." No, everyone bought in. And some people that didn't, they showed it. And the coaches obviously had their problems with them. But other than that, everybody that is on this team bought in and made sure that they did their job. And that's what makes this a lot more fun. When everyone's doing their job, everyone's coming to practice on time, everyone's going to workouts on time, everyone's at meetings, going to class, doing what they're supposed to do, everything's fun. We haven't had very many disciplinary problems with this team, and that's what makes this fun. Because the less disciplinary problems there are, the more fun we can have.
I also heard a couple guys point out, maybe they're feeling that they can be more of an individual this year than in the past. There's a certain success that comes from having everyone in line and no one standing out. But it sounds like I'm hearing guys really hungered for something else, hungered to be themselves.
Yeah, every Saturday this year, we have not had any mandatory practice. We have no mandatory come in and do your own thing. It was everyone coming in. It was encouraged by the coaches, but it was come in and do your own thing. The first Saturday I came out here, there was practically half the team out here, and it was all the guys that knew they had something to do, to work on, that they wanted to get better at, whether it was losing weight, whether it was getting quicker feet, whether it was throwing the ball farther, whether it was running right routes, anything it was, everybody took it upon themselves, and that's probably why they feel that sense of being themselves here right now, because there's no pressure coming from above saying you have to be here doing something. It's kind of, they're treating us like pros. You got to do your own thing to succeed. That's the only way you're going to succeed in the pros, and that's how they're treating us. They're treating us like pro players, and that's why everyone feels like it's more they're themselves. They can be themselves around here, and that's awesome.
Casey, a couple of your teammates mentioned that there's a trust factor among the coaching staff and the players that's been increased. Can you speak to that at all? Have you noticed that at all? If so, why?
I just believe that there's a huge trust factor. Just if you look where Coach Brick comes from, he comes from the University of Georgia, and you're in Athens, Georgia, and if you've ever been there, there's a lot of bars there, there's a lot of things there, and down here you have the same thing. You have a lot of clubs, you have a lot of things that mess people up. But like I said before, when there's no pressure from above, there's less of a tension to do something and mess up.
What is that? Can you kind of?
All right, last question, guys.
From above, help us to understand. I don't think I understand what you mean by that.
sometimes it's like when you're a little kid and your parents tell you not to do something because it's a bad thing, but all your friends do it, and you get peer pressured into doing something. There's a lot of peer pressure down here, but when there's no pressure from above saying, hey, don't do this, don't do that, if you do it, you're going to be consequenced. There was no consequence. You came in, we had weekends completely off. You come in on the weekend, you come in on Monday, and we run sprints, and you could tell the people who were not really controlling themselves that last weekend, and it showed in the sprints. And our head strength coach, Coach Felder, pointed it out, said, you guys got to get right. If you're not going to get right, then the whole team's going to suffer. And that's what he said. And the next week I came in, everyone was fine. And there's no, again, that's what I'm saying. We feel like we have a much mature team. We're older than we used to be. We know we've been around, we've done things, and there's definitely more maturity to this team. And along with it, there's not a lot of peer pressure coming from above, where it's like, hey, you do this, you might get kicked off the team. You do that, you're going to get kicked off the team. They don't set the rules like that. We know that if we do certain things, we're going to get kicked off the team. But if there's no one pressuring you into doing it, there's not one of your friends saying, hey man, let's go out, when your coach is saying don't go out, and then your friends convince you to go out, and then you're in trouble. But the coach doesn't come down on us and say, hey guys, don't go out. If you go out and we find out, you're gonna be punishment for a week. Like, there's no pressure like that. It's just, hey guys, go do your own thing. You're grown men. We understand you're grown men. You're in college. You're gonna have fun. Some stupid things might happen, and it happens. You're in college. You're young guys, but be grown men, and we're gonna treat you like grown men. Now, if you guys act like children, we're gonna treat you like children, and that's what the day one law that Coach Rick came in. The very first thing he said was, I will treat you like men, and I'll treat you like children. If you guys want to be men, act like men, I'll treat you like men. If you guys want to act like children, I'll treat you like a child. I'll take things away from you, make sure you guys don't go out, all that stuff. And that just spoke so much to everybody on this team. They're like, wow, he considers us grown men. He's not going to come in and go, hey, you got 10 o'clock curfew the night before practice. Like, no, you guys, you're grown men. You've done this before. You know what you got to do. And the young guys that just came in, take them under your wing. Show them the way. And that's what, that's what everyone's doing now. And that's what makes being here so fun right now. I've always had fun being here. The old staff, new staff, I always had fun being here. This is the place I wanted to be since I was a kid. I love this university. But as far as everyone else goes, there's just a sense of, all right, they're treating us like men. There's no pressure. We can be ourselves.
Wow. Great.
Thanks, Casey.